I remember us going camping in a Torah caravan back in the 80s. We used to have ours pitched up at Long Ash's caravan site. It's near Skipton in Yorkshire. I remember waking up on a Saturday morning in the caravan on the bunk beds to the smell of bacon and eggs being fried. And my mum had the black and white TV, and we used to have a black and white TV that's tuned like a radio. The picture wasn't great, but you could still make it out and watch the cartoons. Anyway, I'd eat my breakfast while watching cartoons on that TV. And I could see outside the kids from the campsite were already playing out on their bikes and playing football. So I'll quickly get dressed and I'll go and join them. I remember the bike that I had back then. We had these rubber mud guards, and when you folded them onto the wheel, it made your bike sound like a motorbike. It felt like Evel Knievel pulling wheelies, cruising the campsite. And then when we got bored of riding as bikes, we'd go on a spontaneous adventure into the woods at the back of the caravans, or we'd go up to the quarry at the top of the hill. I remember there were a drop, it was like 1,000 foot, and we'd just throw stones over the edge. See, back in the 80s, as parents didn't care what we got up to back then, as long as we were back for the barbecue that was starting at 12. I remember all the other dads would get the barbecues into a circle, and the mums would get all the sun loungers out. And my dad had set up the swing ball, and when we returned back from the quarry, we were playing swing ball and chasing each other and messing around playing football. And we had the barbecue, and then they decided to go down to the pub that was on site. I remember all the parents piling into the pub and telling us kids to go play in the playground. I remember they had one of these 80s death slides. Do you remember them? When you got to the top of the steps, you looked down and you felt like you were 100 foot high. And when you went down the slide, you didn't stop at the end, you went flying off it. I remember swinging on the swings, and me and the other kids would be daring each other to jump off the swing the higher that you got. And they had one of them roundabouts that we would just spin on for ages until we actually felt physically sick. And then when we got sick of being bitten by midges, we went into the pub to join his parents. And they give us some money and we go play on the arcades. And they had Dodgems, Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and they had a pool table. I remember we spent ages on them arcades and playing pool. We didn't want the day to end, we just had so much fun at the campsite. And then his parents would come and collect us because they'd run last orders and it was time to go back to the caravans. I remember when we walked out of the pub, it was pitch black outside and there was no lights leading up to the path where the caravans were. I mean, the other kids would be trying to scare each other by telling ghost stories or running ahead and then jumping out of a bush to scare his parents. There were good times, man. We made some good friends at campsites, but I never kept in touch with them. Who remembers them days?